What's going on, everybody? This is Steve from AltCoin Buzz coming at you this Monday to our friends on the other side of the world. And we have a few things to look forward to this week, one of which is we finally have a sea of green. It seems like despite some of the last week's late week FUD and some of the selling of coins and profit taking that may have taken place towards the end part of last week, including yesterday, Sunday here appears to be a sea of green where people must have been taking advantage of that buying opportunity. So it's good to see some of the coins finally form a support. Bitcoin finally reached the support level, and I think it was around $8,300. It would be good to see that creep back towards the $10,000 range and hopefully up and above, because we've been pushing that range here without any luck of holding it so far in the last few months. So that would be a milestone again to see it break forward to that. But we do certainly expect some big things here in cryptocurrency coming up. One of which, if you want to call it a big thing, at least newsworthy, is that tomorrow in New York City, CoinDesk is having their Consensus 2018 conference that's going to take place from Monday to Wednesday. And this is a blockchain conference, so it's not just strictly about cryptocurrency. There's a lot of things here that they've had summits leading up to this that are really businesses connecting and learning about blockchain as a solution to solve business problems. And we've seen a lot of mainstream adoption within large Fortune 500 and Dow Jones types of companies that are accepting blockchain and looking to implement blockchain solutions. So hopefully more businesses will be able to leverage information learned at conferences like this in order to be able to find the right people to bring on their team for their blockchain, and also to learn about the potential of blockchain as a problem-solving solution. Now, as an investor in cryptocurrency, that may not actually mean much for you guys, unless, of course, those types of businesses actually produce a cryptocurrency as part of their blockchain solution. But there's going to be a lot of these publicly traded companies that are already on NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange that are going to look to stay as far away from a cryptocurrency as they can because of the SEC eyes. We still have uncertainty on the regulation and classification of certain cryptocurrencies and coins, let alone tokens. So you won't necessarily see some of these Fortune 500 companies like Microsoft reasonably coming to the market with their own cryptocurrency, but there's definitely going to be a blockchain implementation of many types with back-end tokenization of which they use on their own side. Now, one thing that we could talk about are ways that blockchain could be able to assist businesses, traditional businesses. And they may not necessarily just be your mom and pops, because the mom and pop organization wouldn't reasonably go and develop and then implement a blockchain solution to solve their one-off problems. Those types of businesses are going to be looking for larger organizations that provide a service to them to implement blockchains, whether they know it or not. And this could be on the credit card processing side, on the inventory tracking side, shipping, you name it. We know FedEx and UPS on the shipping front are certainly developing blockchain solutions in order to more accurately track and control basically the trade of goods and the transportation of goods. So that's a good thing. And that will affect businesses and people of all types, whether they're actually aware that blockchain is the program running in the background. But I've worked with some businesses and learned quite a bit about what is being implemented. And it seems like one of the things at the forefront of most businesses, of course, is information security. And it's pretty easy to think about how they'd want to use blockchain to be able to segment files into different places. And there are blockchain storage solutions such as SiaCoin and some other ones out there where you can put information and store it up in the cloud and have your files all be fragmented, encrypted, and protected by the blockchain. So that's of nothing new, but that is something that businesses are going to be looking to implement, either white label solutions, private label solutions, or they're going to look to develop their own. Now, credit cards and payment processing is going to certainly be looking forward to blockchain. And one of the business industries that I've seen a lot of impetus to be able to roll this out, meaning that they're very eager to look for a solution, is in the travel business. This could be the airlines, hoteliers, cruise lines, you name it. And mainly what they're looking to do is secure the payment that comes in, because there's a lot of fraudulent charges. And despite the fact that people actually check into hotels using their IDs, putting a credit card on hold for incidental charges and stuff like that, the vacation industry is actually wrought with a lot of chargebacks. And those chargebacks cost the travel agents, they cost the OTAs like Expedia and Priceline, Orbitz, all that sort of stuff. And they certainly cost the suppliers themselves, meaning the hotels, the airlines, the rental car agencies, and all that stuff. So basically, in a nutshell, what takes place on the fraudulent side, or even sometimes on customers having a bad experience and using a chargeback to resolve their dissatisfaction or their buyer's remorse with a vacation purchase, is that they purchase a vacation and then they go on that vacation. Let's say they do or don't enjoy themselves. That's non-consequential here. But when they get back after they've consumed all of these particular goods, they then institute a chargeback with their credit card company, and then that credit card company fights on the side of that customer to be able to win the funds back. And what that means is that the funds are going to be taken away from the hotelier, the travel agent, all of the above, and they've already provided goods and provided the goods. They've already provided the services, so they're out those charges, and that drives up the cost of doing business for them, aka the cost of future vacations year after year because of these fraudulent chargebacks. Then on top of that, you have a situation where people book vacations and then they want to cancel it prior to going on it, but they're still within cancellation penalty. And albeit those cancellation penalties are sort of arbitrarily set up by those businesses, knowing that they probably can't sell the inventory within that short period of time during the cancellation policy, whether it's 48 hours for check-in, 72 hours, 90 days, whatever the case may be. So those businesses are looking for an intelligent way to be able to prove that the customer has purchased it and agreed to a contract, so the smart contract would go in place. That way, when the customer uses their credit card agency as a method of producing a chargeback against that supplier inside the cancellation penalty period, they would be able to defend that and state that they've got the proper documentation to defend themselves and uphold the charges. This is going to reduce merchant fees for those types of businesses potentially, because merchant fees kind of help offset the cost of dealing with chargebacks and all that in general. So that's a solution that we're going to see a lot of businesses implement here, and not just to protect their buyers, but to protect themselves, so on and so forth. So it'd be interesting to hear some of the blockchain solutions that you guys in the audience, there's now over 205,000 of you followers here, subscribers on AltCoin Buzz, just on YouTube alone, and certainly many more on our Twitter at AltCoinBuzzIO, and on Instagram, which is at AltCoinBuzz, and on our Facebook page. So chime in and say what you guys think would be an interesting blockchain solution that you haven't personally seen anybody come out and try to solve. You know, we've got 1,610 cryptocurrencies listed just on CoinMarketCap alone, and that certainly doesn't represent the total number of coins and tokens out there, because there's some that have been de-indexed or just don't have enough trading volume to get listed. And then you have all the private patents and blockchain stuff like JP Morgan's got out there, Bank of America, you name it. I would just like to see some of your ideas. Maybe you got some off-the-wall ideas.